Okay, and we are live. Good evening, everyone. My name is Holly, and I am here to introduce my new video blog, which I hope will be enjoyable and useful for my viewers. Um, I'm going to do two things tonight. Number one is I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and my vision for this video blog. And in the middle of that, I'm going to explain how you can influence that vision if you wish. Um, because I have my thoughts about what I would like this to be, but I am also open to input. And the second thing I'm going to do is show a little bit about what I do. In terms of who I work for, because I think it might interest some people. So let's get to it. As I said, my name is Holly, and um, I am someone who has fingers in a lot of pies. It means I have a lot of hobbies, a lot of interests. I like to do artistic things like singing and making jewelry. I also like to do really technical things. I've played around with internet codes and the like. So um, I'm a little bit diverse, but I've always loved other cultures ever since I was small. I grew up in an area where there were a lot of cultures represented, and always had a certain fascination with other cultures. So I received a BA in intercultural studies, or some people might know it as diversity studies. They're very similar. And then in the course of that, I basically just decided to do an internship at an organization that worked with refugees. And what they wanted me to do was to help in the English classes. And to be honest, my first thought about that was I was afraid you were going to say that because I never saw myself as the teacher type. And so when they said they wanted me to help in classes, it was like, oh no. But I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. Had no idea what I was doing, had to learn as I went and just sort of improvised. But I loved it. And I was a tutor. I wasn't the main teacher, so I wasn't carrying the class or anything, thank goodness. um, but when I look back on things now, it's honestly a wonder that sometimes it seems like a wonder that the students learned anything from me. But, so when it came time to really choose a career, I ended up getting a master's in linguistics, which, as most of you probably know, is the science of language. And I specialized in teaching English as a second language. The master's in linguistics was the way that they wanted to do it. So after my degree, went looking for a job, and there weren't a whole lot of jobs available in my area. And also, I don't like to make a big thing of this, but I am totally blind. I do have a disability. So that sort of made things a little bit interesting. That can sometimes make things interesting when you try to get a job. It's just the way it is. That's not a complaint. It's just the way it is. So I was searching around and I came across some companies that did the online teaching thing. And so here we are, a year after that, just sort of stumbling into it, if you will. And I am now a teacher for 3 companies. Um, and I absolutely love it. Um, I can honestly say that I haven't, as I say in the written introduction on my blog, I haven't looked back. I thoroughly enjoy it. My students are amazing and wonderful. And yeah, so the next thing that we are going to do is talk about my vision for this. So normally I won't just be sitting and talking to you so much. I hope. I hope to do screen shares and different things like that more. But this is just an introduction. So you have my face and my voice for most of it. Um, but basically, I had the idea to start a video blog for teachers and also possibly for students, because I'm hoping that what I say, what I demonstrate can benefit everyone. And I don't just want to benefit teachers of English. I'm hoping that some of what I say will be useful to teachers of all languages. Um, but what I plan to do is discuss this idea of transitioning from the traditional classroom arena to the online classroom, because in some ways it can be very different. And what tends to happen in most training courses these days is that you are trained to teach a language in a traditional classroom. Often they try to cover a lot of things. Excuse me if my phone's ringing in the background, but I apologize for that, but it's too far away for me to go and mess with. So basically, I thought I would try and fill some of this gap, because when I moved into the online teaching arena, it was very daunting. I really wasn't sure. Um, I really wasn't sure what I was going to do at first, and there really wasn't a whole lot of information to help me. And I was so overwhelmed that it was like a lot of my training, the things I knew to do, was blocked out. So, you know, um, it was a little, it was very daunting. And so I hope to save others that headache, or maybe give you some new ideas. And what I have found that I've been able to do over the past 10 months is adapt a lot of activities that are designed for the larger classroom to the one-on-one environment. And it just requires a little bit of a different thinking. And sometimes it helps to have an outside source tell you, this is how you've got to think. If any of you are like me, sometimes the task before you is so overwhelming that um, you hear someone else come up with an idea and you go, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? And so basically, I hope to help people with that, and to help people who may be having some of the same struggles that I've had. Oh gosh. Um, and yeah, so there it is. And let's just go into it. I'm going to tell you what I would like you to do if you want to influence the vision is leave a comment. Tell me, what are some of the things you struggle with? So what are some of the things you would like to know? I cannot guarantee to have the answers, because I am relatively new. I'm relatively new to teaching. I received my degree in 2013, and it's just getting ready to turn to 2015. So I'm relatively new to teaching, and of course only 10 months old in the area of online teaching. But I hope that I can be of some help, and maybe what you ask will spur me on to get new ideas for myself. Um, excuse me. So Just a minute, guys. What? The pizza is done. Okay. What do you want me to do? We'll take it out, sweetie. I did. Okay, just wait for me. I'm almost done, all right? Sorry, household, family, you know how it goes. That's part of online teaching, actually, is the outer family structure can sometimes get involved with the classroom, which is sometimes a good thing. You can actually use that as teachable moments. It gets interesting. So let's just go into this. I'm going to open the company websites that I work for. I'm going to open the company websites that I work for so that you can get an idea of what is going on and just see where I work, because sometimes there are two ways you can break into the online teaching arena. You can start your own thing, which is awesome, which is absolutely awesome. Um, and an amazing experience, but some people might find that a little too overwhelming, too frustrating, too daunting. So you can choose to work for a company, and there are two kinds of companies that I've had experience with. One is an actual agency, which is what I'm going to show you first, and I'll give a basic rundown of the business model. Let's see here. Um, and we will discuss the business model a little. Um, oh dear. Let's see here. I'll just share my screen. So I work for a school called livelingua.com, and it is an actual online school. So here's their main site that you see here, and they offer lessons in several languages. And so you have a home page and you can see their languages. They offer Arabic, Spanish, they offer a lot of different things. And they say they are an immersion school. So one of the things they want from teachers is that you are a native speaker of the language that you're teaching. Excuse me. And what happens is that if you get hired on, and the hiring process is very streamlined, it's very nice. You have to agree to a few terms, and the staff is very friendly. You have to agree to offer a free trial lesson. So the school doesn't get paid for the free trial, of course, and neither do you. And they assign you students. So they ask you a few questions about yourself, and they ask you if you are able to teach any test prep, because they do offer test prep classes. And they ask you to give a little bit of a biography. So they want you to be trained. They want you to have a certificate. They want you to have a degree. They want you to be trained. And they assign you students, but they assign you according to your availability. So if you have certain hours of the day that you are unavailable, you just indicate that on your calendar, and they share a Google Calendar with you. Everything is shared through Google. And you have a trial lesson, and if the students sign up, they are automatically assigned to you. unless they decide, they like the online thing, but you as a teacher just aren't a good fit. They will request another teacher. But if they say everything's satisfactory and they pay for lessons, they are automatically assigned to you, and you get a decent you get a decent cut of the salary. They pay you by the hour, and they pay you for how many hours you teach. And then when you finish, there's a timesheet and there is a class report sheet that you need to fill out for each class. That makes sure you get paid, and that makes sure they have an idea of what you're teaching and that your students are actually learning something. All right, let's move into it here. I'm going to load this website. This is italki, and this is me logged in. And on your home page, you see things like meet new friends. I just want to make sure I'm still sharing my screen. All right, so the screen is still sharing. Good. I'm a little new to Google Hangouts, so I wanted to make sure this was still going. So you have your teacher panel. This company offers what is called instant tutoring, which means that if you want to earn a few extra bucks, you can give a half-hour instant tutoring session. So if you have some spare time and you want to teach a little bit, but the lessons aren't scheduled, you can do this. And students who are looking for a little bit of instant practice, and they have the understanding that there's no prepared lesson, they often need conversation practice or things like that. And it's a good way to offer a little bit of extra practice, or you have the scheduled lessons. You are able to set your own fee, and the company takes 15%. They have their own booking system, and they inform you when a student requests a session. You have the freedom to decline the session if there's something that isn't going to work out, and you can communicate with the student and say why. They have all that, and it's a very nice process. And last but not least, we have Verbling. Verbling does not offer instant tutoring, and this is my dashboard here. Verbling does not offer instant tutoring, but they do offer online group classes. So if you want experience teaching both group and private tutoring, they do offer group classes, and you can get experience offering those through Hangouts on Air. They have just instituted trial lessons, and you do get paid a little bit. You do get to set your own fee, just like with italki. And this is both italki and Verbling are what they call teachers marketplaces. So you need to set up a profile with a video and things about you, and explain what you teach and how you teach, so students can choose whether or not you might be a good fit for them. So those are the places where I work. I have found working for these places to be an excellent experience for the most part. I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. There we go. And I'm just going to finish by saying this is one route you can go. If you don't think you're ready to handle your own business and you want to leave a lot of the administrative things like booking to other people, then you can do so. So if you have any questions or you have any suggestions for activities, grammar point, like how do you teach a certain grammar point, anything that you would like to know or would like for me to cover in this video blog, please leave a comment. I would like your feedback. And I ask your pardon again for the background noise and things. As we all know, life happens and people are wanting to get a hold of me. So I'm going to bid you adieu, and I thank you for listening, viewing, and giving me a few minutes of your time. And I hope to speak to you very soon again. And we are going to just say goodbye. Thank you.